Friends, do you get enough leisure time, spare time for yourself? And if you get, do you use it in the most proper way? These are important questions. You know why? Because in today's type of culture we have, consumer society, commercialized world, we hardly get a spare time, or if we get, we are too tired, exhausted, and with that fatigue of overworking, we will be only taking the leisure time, if any, for resting. Why it is happens? Simply because this culture is made, in this business world, commercialized world, for profit and power. The system, no matter what system you are working in, not what organization you are working, or even if you are self-employed, is hungry for profit and power. That means buying, purchasing, giving more profit to these organizations. That means working hard to make money to buy. And the more we are encouraged to buy, we are, in fact, motivated by the system using our temptation or immediate gratification, immediate pleasure to buy, and that means overworking. We have limited time, of course, in 24 hours. The more working means the less leisure time. So that's the problem we have to watch, because that's the leisure time, which is our time, which is for our real self. Let us look at it this way. We have a dual existence, don't we? Our biological, physical, or body, or senses life, which is actually our ego, the legacy of animal kingdom, to survive, to eat better, to have a better shelter, to be healthy. Well, these are needed, of course. But what we do outside, more or less, that's all we do. The other part of us, which is not this shell, this form, this body, is our mind and the spirit. The exciting, the joy, the glory, the confidence, all these come from that part, not the body, right? That part will not get anything in the outside in our business work. That gets this food, or whatever you call it, energy, from our leisure time, if we use it properly. Not ordinarily we do that, do we? We come home, more or less, we go after something to get busy. That means passively passing the time, watching TV, commercial messages, news, movies, advertisements. And these are not giving us anything, do they? Even that those things that appear to be arts are commercialized. There's nothing there. But this leisure time is exactly the time that we give food to our mind, that we keep growing, we keep getting greater in terms of human. We can becoming much greater than we are by expanding the horizon of our mind, the boundaries of our thought. These all can be accomplished in our spare times, and not to be passive. Even some people just sitting and watching only for time, killing the time like a couch potatoes that they call it. And that's too bad. We're missing the opportunity to grow. And that is part of a life for our real self. That is our real life. That is the life that's purposeful. Instead of this waste of time by being a passive watcher, we can go for new education, new area of education. The systematic education we keep having from elementary school all the way high school and university is fine. But more or less, as we all know, they are work-oriented. They are for how we make a good job and make money. Nothing bad, nothing wrong about it. But it has not much to do with our mind. That's it. But let us go after education that we taste and find very good to go after and grow, such as philosophy, history, arts, all type of arts. You know, music, poetry, literature, painting, all of them have one thing in common. They have a better way of expression of whatever is there, ideas, feelings, and the way of seeing outside, way of seeing ourselves. What Hafiz did in his poetry to explain or elaborate love, we can't do it by any other means. But the type of poetry, he did it. The same with Leonardo da Vinci's paintings. He did give some impression to the people that they couldn't get from elsewhere. The same in music. What conveyed Bach cannot be conveyed by a lecture, by words. That is fascinating to go after, studying those things, studying the ideas that great sages of ages gave us on this planet. And it's again fascinating to study their views as philosophies. These are helping us to be greater than what we are. And then actually the enjoyment and the glory come from this type of activity in leisure time. And most importantly, when we are engaged in this type of activity and not a passive one, such as getting into dialogue, intellectual dialogue, see how other people see the world, what's their views, exchanging views, and that helps us to grow. Actually, there is no limit of growing this way in our journey of life. There's no limit. The more we do, the greater we are. Oh, nice. Rumi says this gradually getting higher, bigger and bigger, and becoming more human, more conscious. He says we were inanimate, became animate, and then plant, and then animal, and then eventually human. But now is the beginning of it again, to be more human. And as he says at the end, that there is no way you can imagine, you can assume how far you go. It's beyond your imagination, it's beyond your high aspiration, it's higher than your highest aspiration that you can go. That's just the reality. And all comes from that leisure time. How nice philosopher Bertrand Russell says. He says, praise the idleness. In that context, he says idleness means pleasure, spare time. Don't praise the labor. Actually, in that today's world that we have AI so much helping us, that labor gradually will be just the machine's work. We will be all thinking and getting more human. And that more human, you know what it means. Not the type of life we have today. Thank you.